President Obama and new Speaker of the House, John Boehner, share thoughts about moving the country forward.
And Jerry Brown is celebrating tonight after winning the governor's race. Find out what plans he has for California.
And why Democrats from California seem to be faring better than other Democrats from around the country. Don't go anywhere. Annenberg TV News is next.
You're watching USC's first source for news, Annenberg TV News.
I'm doing a whole lot of reflecting, and I think that there are going to be areas in policy where we're going to have to do a better job.
It's the first time President Obama has spoken out since the Republicans took back the House. Good evening, I'm Robbie Heeger.
And I'm Rion Yellow. The president is urging both parties to work together tonight, something he admits may not be easy. President Obama says he is ready to work with Republicans to move the country forward. ATVN's Sharari Drury has more on the president's plans to sit down with both parties and discuss the country's issues.
What does it feel like?
Feels bad. The toughest thing over the last couple of days is seeing really terrific public servants not have the opportunity to serve anymore, at least in the short term.
Today, President Obama recognized the severe Democratic defeat in last night's election. He says it reflects the country's frustration on several issues.
They want jobs to come back faster, they want paychecks to go further, and they want the ability to give their children the same chances and opportunities as they've had in life.
Republicans made gains across the U.S. last night, winning a majority in the House and almost taking control of the Senate. Obama says he is willing to compromise with Republicans to solve the nation's problems, including no increase in taxes for middle-class families, speeding up the country's economic recovery, ending dependency on foreign oil, and reducing greenhouse gases to curb global warming.
This is a growth process and an evolution. And the relationship that I've had with the American people.
Obama says working with both parties may not be easy, but it is the best option he has at this point. Sharari Drury, ATVN.
And now that Republicans have taken control of the House of Representatives, America is waiting to see how Washington will move the nation forward. ATVN's Kristen Steach joins us in the studio with a report on the GOP agenda. Kristen?
Thanks, Marie. I sat down with a political guru to assess how President Obama and a split Congress will tackle controversial issues facing the nation.
Well, the American people spoke, and I think it's pretty clear that the Obama-Pelosi agenda is being rejected by the American people.
That's the message from Ohio Representative John Boehner, who is expected to become the next Speaker of the House, now that Republicans are in the House majority. The GOP so far has gained 60 House seats from yesterday's midterm elections, giving them a total of 239 seats. The Democrats are now in the minority with 185 seats. But in the Senate, the Democrats still have the power. They've kept 52 seats, leading the Republican total of 46 seats. Now that Congress is split, President Obama emphasized cooperation across party lines.
If Republicans have good ideas for job growth that can drive down the unemployment rate, and we haven't thought of them, we haven't looked at them, but we think they have a chance of working, we want to try some.
Both Obama and Boehner seem to be supporting collaboration between Republicans and Democrats. But one political expert I talked to here at Loyola Marymount University says clashes between the president and House Speaker-to-be are inevitable.
What you'll see is a lot more of John Boehner, who will be the majority leader, pitted against President Obama.
Genovese's prediction is already coming true for some controversial issues, including health care reform.
Listen, I believe that the health care bill that was enacted by the current Congress will kill jobs in America, ruin the best health care system in the world, and bankrupt our country.
But Genovese says there's still some hope for compromise.
What might suggest more cooperation is that the Republicans are going to get blamed for deadlock. And now that they control the House, people want to know, okay, can you govern?
Former Speaker Nancy Pelosi released a statement about the election results. She said, quote, "The outcome of the election does not diminish the work we have done for the American people," end quote. Pelosi served 2 terms as Speaker of the House. She was elected as first woman Speaker back in 2007. Robbie?
Thanks so much, Kristen. As election night spilled over into Wednesday morning, notable senatorial races in Colorado, Alaska, and Washington were still too close to call. Tonight, Colorado is decided, but the other two states are still unconfirmed. Democrat Michael Bennet is the declared winner with a 1-point win over Republican Ken Buck, with 98% of precincts reported. And in Washington, Republican Dino Rossi is trailing 2 percentage points behind incumbent Patty Murray. And the battle continues in Alaska with Senator Lisa Murkowski's historic write-in bid. She's currently leading the three-way race with 41%.
And last night was not only an overwhelming success for the Republican Party, but for Tea Party-backed candidates like Nikki Haley in South Carolina, Rand Paul in Kentucky, and Marco Rubio in Florida. While the movement's big night did not go unnoticed, Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid believes it's time for all parties to move forward together.
All of us who are going to be in the Senate have to work together. That's the message from the American people. We must work together.
Although the party movement won just 32% of their elections last night, party favorites won the 5 seats in the Senate, not counting the undecided race in Alaska, while also gaining 40 seats in the House of Representatives. And Republicans are celebrating today after winning several governor races in last night's election. Of the 37 contests, Republicans won in 23 states. 3 elections, again, we say, are still too close to call tonight. The winners of these contests could influence the 2012 election. Experts say that in swing states, governors play a big role in presidential elections. Florida and Ohio, both swing states in 2008, went Republican. Republicans gained the governorship in at least 10 states that were previously Democratic. They include Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa, Tennessee, Kansas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Ohio, and Wyoming. Swing state Oregon, Minnesota, and Illinois are still too close to call.
California voters gave Democrat Jerry Brown his 3rd term as governor. Brown, the current state attorney general, received 54% of the vote, while Republican Meg Whitman received 41%. Whitman, who shattered campaign spending records, conceded last night. And expectations are high for Governor-elect Jerry Brown as he gets set to retake control in Sacramento.
Look, I mean, Jerry Brown has a lot of experience, and he knows policy. He knows how to do this stuff. He's done a lot of good for California before, and he can do it again.
After a 28-year hiatus, Jerry Brown will be heading back to Sacramento as the head of California's government. Brown says that his priority is to streamline the overcomplicated system already in place.
That the breakdown paves the way for a breakthrough, and that's the spirit that I want to take back to Sacramento 28 years later, full of energy, full of creativity, and ready to serve you, the people of California.
Brown says he plans to focus on education by streamlining standardized testing, focusing on community college development, and downsizing the education code. Brown hopes to create a stronger and smarter California. Local state Senator Curran Price says he has confidence in Brown's return.
I think he certainly has a track record of the kind of positive progressive programs that can benefit all citizens, and that's the kind of governor I want to work with.
But some students who supported Meg Whitman say their concern lies more in Brown's ability to balance California's out-of-control budget.
The thing that I thought Meg had was knowledge of business, economics, that type of things California really needs right now.
And it's not just Republicans who are asking for responsible spending.
I expect him to come up with quick and easy ways to improve our economy. Right now, California is pretty much down in the dumps.
While the economy may be down in the dumps, Brown says he's excited for the challenge.
I take as my challenge forging a common purpose, but a common purpose based not just on compromise, but on a vision of what California can be.
Brown said today that he will take the next week off before heading back to Sacramento to begin work.
And California Senator Barbara Boxer will be returning to Washington. The Democrat beat out her Republican opponent, Carly Fiorina, by 9%, with Boxer receiving 52% of the vote and Fiorina receiving 43%. Now, Carly Fiorina finally conceded this morning, but she did not make a concession speech. However, she did call Senator Barbara Boxer to wish her well. Fiorina spent $6.5 million of her own money on her campaign, but she says she has no regrets. She still says that she is proud to have been part of her campaign.
Republicans enjoyed victories across the country last night, but not in California. Democratic incumbent Barbara Boxer retained her Senate seat, and Jerry Brown beat out Meg Whitman to reclaim the governor's office for the Democrats. The president of Culver City Democratic Club shared why she thinks Democrats held strong in California.
To stop them from being apathetic and get them out to vote, that we would do well. When Democrats vote, Democrats win. And we got our Democrats out to vote. We got our people out.
The Democrat campaigning strategy kept them on top in California, and one Republican says the Democrats missiled voters.
All of us who are going to be in the Senate have to work together. That's the message from the American people. We must work together.
Morgan says he hopes people will realize that the Democrats aren't doing the job for Californians, and then real change will happen.
And in the race for Attorney General, neither Steve Cooley nor Kamala Harris can claim a victory yet. Both candidates have 46% of the vote, but Harris led Los Angeles with a little less than 15,000 votes. Cooley had a comfortable lead in the early returns and originally scheduled a news conference today, but canceled it when Harris caught up. Cooley released this statement saying, "The race for Attorney General will not be decided for at least another couple of weeks. We will continue to monitor the situation. The only thing we are certain of is that the final outcome will be close. We are grateful for all of the good wishes of our supporters and will keep you updated."
The controversial Prop 19 failed to pass in Tuesday night's election, meaning that those looking to use marijuana still have to purchase a license. 54% of the voters said no to Prop 19, while 46% of the electorate voted for the measure. Voters on campus had mixed reactions about the results.
We were a little pissed off I didn't vote. More people weren't lazy like me. It might have passed. So
it's good that it didn't pass for me, just because, you know, with it being legalized, everybody would be liberal about it, and, you know, they'll just buy it here and there, and you don't know what they'll do with it.
Officials say one of the reasons Prop 19 failed was the generational gap, with more older voters turning out for the midterm election.
People who are otherwise legalization proponents or decriminalization proponents, they're kind of scared by the idea of regulation and by government intrusion. I think that was somewhat of a problem in the way that they presented it.
Since marijuana possession no longer appears on one's official record, the issue is still less pressing. Many still consider the proposition a success because it was able to draw millions of votes. And California voters rejected Proposition 23, which would suspend the state's law to limit greenhouse gas emissions. The proposition was developed to suspend the Global Warming Solutions Act of 2006 until Californians' unemployment record drops below 5.5%. 61% voted no on the proposition, while 39% voted for the measure.
The Federal Reserve says it will buy $600 billion in Treasury bonds as a part of a plan aimed at giving the economy a boost. The Fed will buy about $75 billion a month in long-term government bonds through mid-2011 in order to drive down mortgage interest rates. The Fed hopes cheaper loans will stimulate spending and hiring. And in response to the Fed's announcement today, stocks seesawed throughout the day but managed to close in the green at their highest levels in 2 years. The Dow climbed 26 points, closing out the day at 11,215. The Nasdaq gained 7 points, ending the day at 2,540.
Well, a final farewell to a fallen soldier who LAPD officers say they were blessed to have known.
And USC students are praying for one USC student who remains in critical condition tonight after falling out of a freshman dorm window.
And why young kids may no longer get toys in their McDonald's Happy Meal. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to ATVN. The LAPD and Marine Corps are mourning the loss of one of their most promising young men today. Family, friends, and colleagues of Joshua Collins shared their memories of the fallen soldier and LAPD officer at a memorial mass downtown.
LAPD officers and Marines led the procession into the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Angels in downtown LA this morning as Officer Joshua Collins' family looked on. Dozens of LAPD officers and Marines came to honor Collins. His longtime friend and comrade in the Marine Corps described Collins as a family man.
Watching Josh up there with his family and his brothers, you could just see he was at his best, being a big brother and a son. That was what he loved to do.
The 28-year-old Simi Valley native was killed by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan last month, just 2 days before he was set to come home. Collins had served 2 tours of duty in Iraq and was serving his second tour in Afghanistan. His uncle read a statement on behalf of Collins' father. He recounted the first day he took his son to preschool.
He ran and jumped on the fence and hung on to it. He looked at me and said, "Dad, don't leave me." I didn't want to leave him then, but I had to let him go.
Collins was an explosives technician in the Marine Corps. The LAPD says they had plans for Collins once he returned from Afghanistan.
You know, it's sad to see somebody gone, especially somebody as talented as him. He spent a lot of time over there, did a lot of good work. And I know we were going to, move him into the bomb squad just because of the expertise that he was bringing to the department.
And you can find out how to make a donation on Officer Collins' behalf at our website. Head over to atvn.org and click on Link Up.
A student bicyclist collided with a university shuttle bus this morning. Department of Public Safety Captain David Carlisle confirmed that the collision occurred around 9 a.m. on the corner of Downey Way and McClintock Avenue. The cross-section is frequently used by students on both foot and bike. Carlisle said the male bicyclist was struck by the right side of the bus as he attempted to cross Downey Way. Los Angeles Fire Department paramedics treated the student on the scene and transported him to California Hospital. We have no information on his current condition. And students are still worried about the freshman who fell from the 6th story of Burncrant Residence Hall on Monday. Jackson Roddy's fraternity held a candlelight vigil for him last night. Students wrote a song and came together to pray that he recovers quickly. They are hoping to keep a prayer going for him 24 hours each day until he is stable. And if you'd like to talk to a counselor, you can find out more about the university's counseling services online at atvn.org. Just click on Link Up.
It's a sad day for members of the Los Angeles Fire Department as one of their most beloved chiefs is officially calling it a career.
I hate to leave in many ways. There's still much to be done, and I guarantee you I'll work to the last day I go out the door. But I will go out the door with a smile on my face.
With family and friends on hand, Chief P. Michael Freeman, who's set to retire at the end of this month, was honored today at the County Board of Supervisors weekly meeting. Freeman is retiring after 21 years of service with the LA Fire Department. And McDonald's Happy Meals are missing a little bit of happiness in San Francisco today. The San Francisco Board of Supervisors decided to ban toys from Happy Meals to prevent childhood obesity. The ruling stems from the idea that providing gifts with high-calorie meals entices children to eat them. Some McDonald's customers disagree.
Or whatever movie was out, they would have like some little animal that I wanted, they'd advertise it, and so I'd go and I'd eat the food because I mean it's McDonald's, it's delicious.
A McDonald's spokesperson also disagrees, saying the toy is a part of the family fun at McDonald's. The statement from McDonald's says, "We're extremely disappointed with this decision. It's not what our customers want, nor is it something they asked for. We are extremely proud of our Happy Meals, which give our youngest guests wholesome food and toys of the highest quality. Getting a toy with a kid's meal is just one part of a fun family experience at McDonald's."
I do love my Happy Meals, but there's no way I'm going to McDonald's in this weather. It is just too hot. It's been crazy.
I know. All I want is a smoothie and a trip to the beach because, I mean, it hasn't even been this warm all throughout the summer. So,
well, luckily we're in air conditioning, and so is our weather anchor, Megan Tellis. Megan, tell us what's up with this weather.
Well, thank you, Robbie. You're right. I absolutely love a good Happy Meal. But good evening. It was a beautiful day out there today. Very hot. Downtown LA even broke a record to the date, meaning that on November 3rd in 1900, the temperature got up to 96 degrees. And today, it got up to 97 degrees. Just 1 degree, but we still call that a record-breaking temperature. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the temperatures outside right now. We have a high of 76 degrees, a low of 64. The winds are slightly blowing 2 miles an hour, and the sun will rise tomorrow at 7:16 a.m. And let's take a look at the temperatures across the Southland. We have Long Beach, 90 degrees tomorrow, USC 91, Rancho Cucamonga 94, and Palm Springs, a beautiful 93 degrees. And yeah, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day outside. Here's a look at your 5-day forecast. For the next 5 days, you can expect temperatures. Tomorrow is going to be 91 degrees outside, and as the weekend approaches, the temperatures will dip down to the high and low 70s, with Friday at 79 and Monday at 70 degrees. So it's going to be a beautiful one. Like you had mentioned earlier, get out to the beach, and yeah, there you have it.
Yeah, get out while you still can. I'm just glad that it is going to drop toward the end of the week. I don't know if I could really stand this inclement weather anymore.
I know, but you know, enjoy it while it lasts. You know, Christmas is on its way and all the holidays, so let's get
we can clearly see that we're lucky here. It should be great. Thanks, Megan.
Of course.
A George Washington University student will become the first openly transgender player in NCAA Division I basketball history. Junior Kai Allums will play on the GW women's basketball team, where he has played as a woman for the past 2 seasons. He will not be allowed to undergo testosterone therapy as long as he is competing. Kai says the university has been supportive of his decision. And while no bowl game for the Trojans this year, but we sure did try to play that spoiler role again with Oregon this weekend, but no luck.
Exactly. The Oregon game was our equivalent of a bowl game, but, you know, we only have 5 more home games to wrap up our season, so I really hope Coach Kiffin has some more tricks up his sleeve to pull out a better record for us. Our sports anchor, Alex Wilk, is filling in for Whitney Blaines today. He's going to give us the latest. Alex?
Thanks, guys. The football team is gearing up for Arizona State this weekend. We've got an update from practice. Plus, we headed to McAllister Field to talk to soccer standout Carter Haug as the team looks for some momentum in their final regular season games. And the Lakers are back in action up north against the Kings. We'll give you a preview of tonight's game. Don't go away. Sports is next. Welcome back. A hot day on the USC campus, and now a couple of USC starters are on the hot seat. Oregon's defense sacked quarterback Matt Barkley twice last week, and left guard Butch Lewis is Butch Lewis's starting spot is now open to competition. Safety Jawanza Starling's place in the backfield is also up for grabs. Head coach Lane Kiffin called the team's offense against the Ducks terrible. They'll hope to improve quickly this week in practice to keep up with ASU. The Sun Devils lead the Pac-10 in passing attempts and sit at second in the conference in passing yards. Head coach Kiffin told ESPN Radio he wasn't happy with the way he called the game against Oregon. He said, quote, "I don't think I managed the game with the quarterback as well as I could have. I got a little too aggressive there. We were feeling like we needed to go score because of the pressure that they had just scored as opposed to just staying within rhythm." An investigation is underway into the unexpected death of surfer Andy Irons. The 32-year-old 3-year world time champion died Tuesday in a Texas hotel room on his way home from a tournament in the Caribbean. His death is currently being investigated as a possible drug overdose. The women's soccer squad is gearing up for their final Pac-10 games of the season this weekend. 17th-ranked women of Troy are hoping that victories over the Arizona schools can boost their chances in the NCAA tournament. Carter Haug won the NCAA championship with SC as a freshman. She says she wants to round out her senior season on top.
It's a great experience, especially, playing at McAllister for all 4 years and then ending up with having such a great memory to have there as our last game for us 3 seniors. And it was just so incredible to beat Washington as well, because it boosts our confidence for going into Arizona. Our team goal is definitely national championship. We want to get there. We want to be in the Final Four, fighting for that national championship, and especially finishing that, coming in with a freshman year doing that, and then hopefully ending with a senior year having that. It would be such a great opportunity to end on. And we know that it starts on this weekend against Arizona's, because in order to get a good seed, hopefully we have to come out with 2 wins down there.
Haug and the Trojans travel to Arizona State Friday night, then face Arizona on Sunday morning in their final match of the regular season. The 32-team women's soccer bracket will be announced on Monday. The San Francisco Giants return home to celebrate after their World Series win against the Texas Rangers. More than 10,000 fans greeted the Giants as they returned to the Bay Area. This parade route was similar to the one held in 1958 when the Giants moved to the city. This is the Giants' first championship since they moved from New York. The Giants took home the trophy following a 4-1 victory over the Texas Rangers on Monday. Now, from one champion to another, The undefeated Lakers head up to Sacramento tonight for a Pacific Division showdown. The Lakers and Kings boast two of the top 3 scoring offenses in the league. LA put up a season-high 124 last night over Memphis. A victory for the Kings would give Sacramento their best 5-game start in 9 years. The game tips off tonight at 7:30. And while the Lakers have the best record in the NBA, the Clippers, not so much. Clips are 0-4 so far this year and face an uphill battle tonight against Oklahoma City. As for their fans, it's all business as usual. We talked with some fans today who aren't so worried about LA's slow start.
It's a rebuilding year, so hopefully maybe try to contend for the 8th spot for the playoffs, but I think anything better than last year would be good for them, and they're definitely on the rise. So.
The Blake Griffin show, I saw he was doing pretty well in the preseason, and the 1 or 2 games he played in, so I think they're going to be much better than last year.
The Clipper and Thunders take the court tonight at Staples Center at 7:30. Well, the Clippers haven't exactly been dominant lately, but, a lot of people say they could be a lot better pretty soon.
Well, Blake's sure been looking strong. I saw him throw down hard, and he's been joining the Giants. Thanks, Al. Well, that is all the time we have for tonight. We were expecting another story, but I guess not. Go Giants, for real, though. Go Giants. The tie and everything. Come on now. Everybody's got to love the Giants.
I'm excited. Just a California team, that's good enough for me. But thank you so much for watching Annenberg TV News. For everybody here at ATVN, I'm Marie Aniello.
And I'm Robbie Heeger. You can watch us online at atvn.org.